Hello everyone, welcome to Endless English. An adventure can be a made up story or that happens in real life. People often like stories about a person who has an adventure. Some people in real life like to have adventures. They may be explorers who like to go faraway places where no one has even been before. Such a man was Ulysses, presented by Alfred Tennyson in his poem Ulysses. Alfred Tennyson, his period was from 6th August 1809 to 6th October 1892. He was a born British poet. He was the poet laureate during much of Queen Victoria's reign and remains one of the most popular British poets. In 1829, Tennyson was awarded the Chancellor's Gold Medal at Cambridge for one of his best pieces, Timbuktu. The first collection of poems, chiefly lyrical in 1830, includes the Claribel Mariana, the most celebrated poems of Tennyson. He excelled at penning short lyrics such as Break, 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 The Charge of the Light Brigade, Tears, Idle Tears, Crossing the Bar, The Lady of the Shallot, Lotus Eaters, etc. The death of his father, the mental illness of his brothers, his own failure in his poetic career pushed him to the depression. But it was in this period that he wrote some of his most characteristic work. The Two Voices, Saint Simeon Stylites, Marty Arthur, and In Memoriam, a mourning poem for his close friend Hallam's death. A number of phrases from Tennyson's work have become commonplace in English language. He is the ninth most frequently quoted writer. Though less of Tennyson's work, what does remain, and it is by no means small in quantity, seems likely to be imperishable. Ulysses is a character who appears in Homer's Greek epic, the Odyssey. Tennyson's Ulysses is Homer's Odysseus. The character of Ulysses and his adventures were first recorded in Homer's Iliad and the Odyssey. Tennyson draws on Homer's narrative in his poem. This poem is written as a dramatic monologue. The entire poem is spoken by a single character whose identity is revealed by his own verse. These lines are in blank verse or unrhymed iambic pentameter, which serves to impart a fluid and natural quality to Ulysses' speech. Let's get into the poem. It little profits that an idle king, by this still heart among these barren crags, matched with an aged wife, I meet and dole unequal loss unto a savage race. In Tennyson's poem Ulysses, the mythical hero Ulysses describes his discontent and restlessness upon returning to his kingdom Ithaca after a long travel. Despite his reunion with his wife Penelope and son Telemachus, Ulysses yearns to explore again in pursuit of knowledge beyond the human bounds. Ulysses, the king of Ithaca, expresses his frustration at dull and aimless life. He says that he is trapped at home on the rocky highland and he gains nothing from just sitting around the fire with his aged wife and making laws for the uncivilized people. So here he doesn't like the present life as he wants to have an adventurous life. Coming to the lines of the poem, that hoard and sleep and feed and know not me, I cannot rest from travel, I will drink life to the lees. All times I have enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved one. Ulysses' subjects are presented to us as a large group of drones who do nothing but eat and sleep, and they don't even know him, as he was away from his family for many years. Here we learn that he is a restless spirit who doesn't want to take a break from roaming the ocean in search of adventures. He wants to have an adventurous life till his end. He wants to live life to the fullest. He also says that he had a lot of good times and bad times with his best friends and sometimes alone, both on dry land and on the stormy seas. Let me read out the lines of the poem. That loved me and alone on shore, and went through scudding drifts the rainy Hyades, vexed the dim sea, am become a name for always roaming with a hungry heart. Ulysses elaborates on the good times and the bad times he enjoyed during his travel with his best friends, both on dry land and on the stormy seas, where he had rapidly moving winds and pouring rain with the sign of Hades. He says he has become famous because he traveled to so many places. He portrays himself as a traveler with an insatiable desire, hungry heart, to see as many places as he can and try as many foods as he can. These lines say that he is longing for adventurous life and he doesn't like the present life. See the lines. Much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments. Myself not least, but honored of them all, and drunk delight of battle with my peers. Ulysses tells us that he has visited a variety of different places with different manners, weather, governments, councils, etc. He was not treated like the least thing, but he was honored by everybody he met. He enjoyed the moments of war with the soldiers of his age. In this line, we can see the pride of Ulysses on his long war and the travels. Far on the ringing plains of windy Troy, I am a part of all that I have met. Yet all experience is an arch, where through gleams that untravelled world whose margin fades. Ulysses also describes the time he spent on the ringing plains of windy Troy, the famous city where the Trojan War took place. The plains are ringing because of the armor clashing together in the battle. He left parts of himself everywhere he went. He wants to tell us that he doesn't belong there in Ithaca. He compares his life or experience to an arch and describes the untravelled world as a place that gleams at him through that arch. All he has to do is to walk through the arch. As he travels more and more, the edge of the world also recedes. So, in these lines, he speaks about the endless journey towards the horizon of the bay. Forever and forever, when I move, how dull it is to pass, to make an end, to rust unburnished, not to shine in use, as though to breathe were life, life piled on life. Ulysses says in depressed mood, how boring it is just sitting around when he could be out exploring the world. He longs for adventurous life. He compares himself to some kind of metallic instrument that's still perfectly useful and shiny, but just rust if nobody uses it. Why? Because his life is about more than just breathing, it's about adventure. Were all too little, and of one to me, little remains, but every hour is saved from that eternal silence, something more, a bringer of new things, and while it were. Ulysses continues to radiate a desire for adventures, claiming that even multiple lifetime wouldn't be sufficient for him to do all the good things he wants. At this point, though he is an old man, he wants to make the most of what's left. For some 3 cents to store and hoard myself, and this grey spirit yearning in desire to follow knowledge like a sinking star beyond the utmost bound of human thought. According to Ulysses, it's waste of time for him to be in Ithaca for 3 years when his desire for adventure is still so alive. Even though he is old, his desire for travel doesn't vanish. The phrase follow knowledge like a sinking star is ambiguous. On one hand, Ulysses wants to chase after knowledge and try to catch it as it sinks like a star. On the other hand, Ulysses himself could be the sinking star. That makes sense too. He is a great personality who is moving closer to death. Here Ulysses introduces Telemachus. This is my son, mine own Telemachus, to whom I leave the scepter and the isle. Well loved of me, discerning to fulfill this labor by slow prudence to make mild. Ulysses introduces us his son Telemachus, who seems like the right guy to take over the job of king of Ithaca. He is smart and he knows how to make his people do things without being too harsh about it. He hands over his scepter and island to Telemachus. A scepter is a ceremonial staff that symbolizes authority. Ulysses means something like, I leave him in charge. When compared with Ulysses, Telemachus seems a lot less restless. He has slow prudence, means he is wise and patient and willing to make the best decision for the people of Ithaca without being too hasty and harsh. Ulysses tells us more about Telemachus' qualifications here. A rugged people and through soft degrees subdue them to the useful and the good. Most blameless, easy, centered in the sphere of common duties, desire not to fail. The people of Ithaca are rugged, which means that they are a little uncivilized and uncultured. They are with a little bit of an attitude. That's why they need to be controlled and put to good use. Desire not to fail means that Telemachus is smart enough not to fail at doing nice things for people and paying the proper respects to the gods. Ulysses is getting ready to set off here. In offices of tenderness and pay meet adoration to my household gods when I am gone. He works his work, I mine. There lies the port, the vessel puffs her sail. We are not sure whether I am gone means that Ulysses is planning on going back to sea for some more adventures or if he is thinking about his own death. Ulysses shifts our attention to the port of Ithaca, where he tells us a ship is preparing to set sail. There gloom the dark broad seas, my mariners' souls that have toiled and wrought and thought with me, that ever with a frolic welcome took the thunder and the sunshine and opposed. Here he speaks about his friends. Thunder and sunshine is used here to mean something like bad times and good times. They have gladly gone through thick and thin for Ulysses. The phrase opposed is a little tricky. Ulysses means that his sailors opposed whatever came in their way, thunder for example, and they did it as free men and with a lot of confidence. Free hearts, free foreheads, you and I are old. Old age hath yet his honor and is tall. Death closes all, but something ere the end, some work of noble note may yet be done. Speaking of old age, Ulysses suggests that even though old people are respected, they also have their responsibilities. Ulysses knows that death will end everything, but he still believes he can do great things, things worthy of men who fought against the will of the gods during the Trojan War. He speaks about himself and his companions who fought in the Trojan War and brought success to Greek. Not unbecoming men, that's true with the gods. The lights begin to twinkle from the rocks. The long day wanes, the slow moon climbs, the deep moans around with many voices. Come, my friends. Ulysses observes the sunset and the arrival of night, but it seems like he is thinking about his own death as well. It reminds us of people mourning a death. Lights begin to twinkle from the rocks is an elegant way of saying the stars are coming out. It's not too late to seek a near world. Push off and sitting well in order, smite the sounding furrows, for my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset and baths. Ulysses is addressing his friends. He tells them what he has been telling us all along. It's never too late to go in search of new lands. He tells his sailors to smite the sea, most likely with the oars. The word bath refers to the outer ocean or river that the Greeks believed surrounded the earth. They thought that the stars descended into it. Ulysses wants to sail really beyond the horizon of the known universe until he dies. Of all the western stars until I die, it may be that the gulfs will wash us down. It may be we shall touch the happy isles and see the great Achilles whom we knew. Ulysses wants to sail beyond the horizon of the bay until he dies. The Happy Isles refers to the islands of the blessed, a place where big-time Greek heroes like Achilles enjoyed the perpetual summer after they died. We can say heaven. Ulysses realizes that he and his companions might die, but he is okay with that. If they die, they might go to the Happy Isles and visit their old friend Achilles. Though much is taken, much abides, and though we are not now that strength which in old days moved the earth and heaven, that which we are, one equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will to strive, to seek, to find, and not yield. Ulysses yet again tells us that even though he and his sailors are old and don't have the strength and stamina, there's enough left to go a little farther. These guys are team with one heartbeat. They are old and broken, but they still have the will to seek out and face challenges without giving up. To strive, to seek, to find, and not yield means something like we are strong and we can achieve our goal without giving up. Ulysses has come to the conclusion that to live a meaningful life, he has to move on from his domestic situation. The fact that Ulysses will never complete his quest for knowledge. He will always be on a journey, and that for him is what defined as meaningful life.